Hello there, Internet, and welcome. It has been 2 years since I last played a snifter of Emberbane. It was in fact the February Next Fest for 2024 where I last played a demo for this. The game was due out in 2024 according to the Steam page that I showed in that video, but I was rather critical, shall we say, of the game's controls. I actually went back and watched the last 5-10 minutes of the video. It's like I didn't go back and check things in motion, but I was very critical of the precision, the claims that this was a precision acrobatic focus game, because I was having a good number of issues with a feeling of lag. And I remember not long after Next Fest finished, the devs basically said, there's a lot of people saying this, and that is not what we are going for, so we are going to take the time to get it right. And it's been 2 years, and I am hoping that now the game is out for realsies. I've got my key from the Kickstarter campaign. I'm hoping that this will be what I was hoping from the game. Now, just before we start, and I probably mentioned this in my demo video a couple of years ago, I didn't get this because I'm a super big Avatar The Last Airbender fan, or because I particularly thought, oh, this looks like it's going to be super cool and interesting. Actually, I kind of thought that the element switching and stuff might be not really for me, in much the same way that the element switching in Soldiers was just a little bit too gimmicky for my personal tastes. And I'm going to try and emphasize that. If you are a fan of Avatar, if you are a fan of the kind of element switching thing, I'm hoping that this is exactly what you want from that kind of system. I was always a little bit reticent about it, but I like supporting indie games. You know, I support a lot of indie Kickstarters for Metroidvania games, a lot of which don't actually get funded. Some of them I've even done videos on and thought, oh yeah, this should get funded, this is cool, and then they still don't. Not that I've got that much of reach. So I supported the game because I want to see indie devs in the Metroidvania space do well, and I hoped that it would be interesting enough for me to enjoy it as well. If it turns out that I don't enjoy this full game, that's fine, because I've still supported the production of a game that hopefully other people will enjoy. My personal enjoyment is important to me, but the needs of developers and the funding developers to get more cool stuff out there that other people will enjoy, even if I don't personally get it, it's important to me. And I'm not entirely sure I get that point across often enough when it comes to some of these first impression videos. So I'll try and keep that more clear. I just feel like the intros to some of these videos go on. So, and if you're here for gameplay, well, let's get some gameplay. First of all, let's take a look at the settings. So we've got language, we've got damage counters, we've got key rebindings if you want them, which most people do. We've got borderless windowed, full screen, windowed, resolution options, VSync, audio sliders, and we've got screen shake and rumble as... I still don't particularly think that rumble is an accessibility feature, but I get why it's there. I personally would put rumble under game settings. Screen shake, realistically, is also a game setting as far as I'm concerned. Accessibility is stuff like different types of fonts, difficulty options for people that struggle with mobility, colorblind modes and so on and so forth. But whatever. Let's get into the game. It's all very blasphemous coded, isn't it, this UI?
Willpower. Greed.
This video is quite compressed.
Us. Chains that disgraced us. And in the hands of the gods, chains that ruled us.
I like that they've all got little different coloured faces.
War. Rivers wept blood. Brother slew brother and crowned himself victorious. Back then, I was but a farmer. One who tilled his field, who wrested bread from stone. But how blind I was. Blind though I be, I shall never forget that cursed day. When the god's ember fell from the heavens, we were already shattered. Yes, we mistook
A real
salvation,
mix of
promise
art
of
styles. That explosion is very different to the actual style of the artwork.
Death came with it,
Also, there should be a colon, a space after the colon.
and power unbound. The chains fell into our hands. Souls.
Yeah, this video is incredibly
Rotted.
compressed.
And I alone remained, standing in that inferno. I became a Khan.
This man has a great voice.
Fed the starving, clothed the bare, cast evil from
Bears
them.
don't need clothes, they've got fur.
Peace is a flame that flickers.
I'm so funny.
Those I had bound in chains returned with shackles of their own. Hadad, Lord of Betrayal. Diana, the rabid cur. Susano,
The loathsome dung eater. No, wrong game.
and Hector, a mountain of flesh, a mindless shell, strength without thought, a wretched beast that waited for command. They rose, all of them. Before
Awful
the
lot
very
of bare-chested
throne
people
I
here.
had won through blood. And then
And then?
usurper. A coward so vile, his name is not worth the air he would steal.
You can tell he's a villain because he's got that facial hair.
Surgery and tore my heart from my chest.
Oh dear.
The throne was taken. As they feasted, as their beasts galloped free through the cities, as the meek were crushed beneath their rule, my people wept in silence. But my soul did not fade. My people still called for me, and I left behind a final hope. Emberbane, a newborn spark. This time, one that will break the chain. My flame shall be her whip. And the gods, for the first time, shall burn.
Nice. Suitably dramatic.
Rise, my flame. The chains that bound you were never punishment. Go now, and cleanse what remains impure.
Burn it all. No,
Try stopping me.
okay. We do not have D-pad controls. Right, I just want to check something. I keep on doing this at the start of videos. Manage, browse local files. So this is a Unity game, but that's not what I want to check. I want to check the install size. 3.76 gigabytes unpacked. I am wondering whether it would have been worth sacrificing an extra kind of 500 meg or something on compressing that introductory video slightly less. Because it looked to me just a little bit too crushed. in terms of the I was going to say JPEG artifacting, in terms of the artifacting. Oh, we have fire, we have health. There we go. I've already done that. So in terms of setup, I have set all the stuff on fire. In terms of setup, that was as decent as any kind of anime. Obviously, I am not an anime person, so again, I was always going to be a little bit... do I have a dodge? I do. I've got a slide, haven't I? I feel like... I feel like I'm only getting audio for sound effects through left channel. Oh, no. It's giving me... This is interesting. If I'm facing left, fire effects come out the left speaker. If I face right, they're coming out of the right speaker. So we have an attempt at directional audio. Which sounds kind of weird. Go, my legs already served their sentence. Okay. Oh, that is a very shallow wall jump. Okay, so there is a short period of time in attack that you can't slide out of it. So it's not like you're massively committed to the attack, but you are committed to the attack. Oh! I forgot the sky's colour. That was foolish of you. Not entirely sure why fireballs create platforms, but apparently they do. Who am I to question the rules of this world? Uh-oh, an archer. So there's about a second cooldown on the dash / slide. And I think... Is it just me? The way it's kicking up the sparks and stuff and how flat we are to the ground. Is it just me that thinks that we should be sliding a little further than we actually are? Based on that. It looks like it should take us... Oops. Looks like it should take us further than it actually does. But hey, at least we can ledge grab up and not get stagger locked back downwards like in Sons of Sparta. Do I have any camera control? Don't think I do. Yeah, that doesn't feel anywhere near. Whoa. This has gone grey for everybody, hasn't it? It's not just me. Okay, so we're, what, 10 minutes into the game, and grey screen and scratchy sound. I've got... Not yet. Well, that was great. Oh, look, we're back at the start of the game. Oh, they have improved the map. That's a substantial improvement to the map. The map was originally a very blocky grid-based map, which, again, as I've said multiple times, I've got no problem with grid-based maps. In fact, I quite like them. I find them very cathartic in terms of ticking off the squares. But this is definitely a cooler looking map. Yeah, that just doesn't go far enough. Let's see if we can quickly get back to where we were. Obviously, we didn't find any checkpoints, so we're running the entire way. We are getting currency, so there is a point to killing enemies. Oh, that stays lit, okay. I'm trying to think what could potentially have caused that. The grey screen weirdness. One thing that I will say from an artistic logic perspective, don't think we've got any iframes on that, do we? The archers wearing bright green. He can turn around mid-attack, can he? Okay. The archers wearing bright green in this kind of deserty environment is an interesting choice. I guess that's just the sound effect for that particular thing rather than it's a breakable wall. But we haven't got a grey screen this time, so that's nice. Feels like she should have more momentum in the swing for... Whoa! You're a terrible archer if you can't adapt for the fact that I've ducked. Okay, I chatted shit and now I'm getting hit for it, so...
At
that just to do it again? Why would I want to do that? Don't know. Can I have a save point? Save points? Solace awakened. Element mastery. Nice. Change relics. Wealth flows quicker through my hands. Interesting. So we had that, but we didn't have it equipped.
This will end quickly for you.
Really dislike it when enemies can turn around mid-attack. The slide is so unresponsive. It just feels like it doesn't work.
This will end quickly for you.
One of my big pet peeves is when enemies can turn around mid-attack animation.
Told you.
So the fact that that is a thing here is it's a red flag as far as I'm concerned. And the thing is, that's not even the kind of stuff that I expected to be an issue. You know, I was thinking, oh, you know, element changing and so on and so forth. Those are going to be my dislikes. But yeah, that slide is too short range, and it just doesn't feel responsive in combat. I think it's probably because of the cooldown on it being quite long. That's probably the issue. Ooh. New power? Fire dash. R2 in the air to perform fire dash. Now see, that is length. Right. Better. Pity it can't upgrade our ground dash as well. It's a good job somebody left that in the dungeon. Only dogs and Elsinorians may enter. Solace. So that's our save point, one assumes. And this is also a save point. New power awakened. Consume all your ki to activate in a rage. It increases damage dealt and received temporarily. So this is... This just goes in the middle, I guess. Because it's... Ah, I see. So it's in the void column. So there's going to be 3 for each element. I guess. I don't think I'm crossing there, am I? Trace? What is a trace? No, definitely not crossing there.
One wall crumbled, and yet 1,000.
The lack of space after the colon's quite annoying. That's an easy fix. You literally have to put a space in the string, I assume. Ooh, an Elsinorian. Lion, tiger, legend. Go on then, finish a little revenge tour. Stop talking. Go on, show me. Go take what's yours. Okay. That's a big ass parrot. That cactus looks like a man. Nope, fail. Damn it. What are they falling from, and why are they expertly falling into these pipes? Huh. U4, increasingly long rope. Aha, I need a platform manifesting power. Don't have that. Nor do I have a way of getting through these gates. Nope. I accidentally clipped the button then. That was on me. Whee! What was that scroll for? Yeah, you guys are no use in close combat, are you? I got a thing! A codex page. A torn page written in a language that refuses to be understood. I can do that too. Yeah, something about this combat's not feeling very fluid. Oh, swingy things. These are featured in quite a number of games right now. Oh, wonderful. I love it when enemies can turn around mid-attack. The archers don't do it. Redhead fugitive sighted, kill on sight. Okay, I can get back up there. That's just leading me over here, isn't it? Ah, platforms. Okay. It's so much faster to do this than anything else. Huh. It's such a shallow jump. That's so stupid. We haven't even got to the powers switching stuff yet, and already we're having issues just with the game feel. Oh my god, that's so stupid. What were those hitboxes? Why is there no exciting music or anything for these battles? Okay, that opens the door. It's amazing how different this is versus this. Same button. Well, everything's telling me not to go this way, so choose wisely. Oh, so as well as being for upgrading our powers, we need them as currency for other stuff. Okay, I thought there was another... I feel like I needed a double jump there. Was there another way over here? Ah, okay, there is, but it's blocked.
So this is a forest. It feels like heaven remembered something about mercy.
Okay. Edenwoods. Welcome to Edenwood. The sages are especially welcome. I feel like that should be bigger. That's really tiny. Even on a 32-inch monitor. Pretty. Yes. That's a weird kind of background. Leaf falls, road calls, heart stays. Oh, we swim. Quiet water, quiet mind. We can jump out of... Do we have a breath meter? Don't seem to have a breath meter. I see a thing. I can't reach the thing. Yes, I'm assuming trace is just a map marker. Huh. Another wanderer pretending to care for knowledge. Don't touch anything. Don't breathe on the parchments. These are older than your bloodline. Still here. Fine. Listen well. There exist codices, fragments of the first truth scattered when the gods fell silent. Bring them to me, and I'll assemble what once was whole. They say it holds a message from Fortinbras himself. I don't believe in gods, but I do believe in answers. Okay, in terms of how this layout is working, I was assuming that when the librarian spoke, we'd have the librarian name and picture on the left, and then Ophelia and picture on the right, and it would swap between them. But instead, we seem to always have the librarian and his picture on the left, even when Ophelia is speaking, which seems like a really weird way of doing this. Oh, this sign is not interactive. I like how much swagger we have. Oh, okay. So that's why it wants us to go this way. Don't think I'm getting over there. So literally, I just stand here and wait.
You improved slightly.
No, no secrets. Skulkers, Dan? Oh. Interesting. Why did I not get... Huh? What? Don't know what's going on with the map. It's not a... It's not a mouse cursor thing. Oh, I don't know. It kind of looks like more cooking time was needed here. Pardon you? Nice little glow effect around us when we're dashing underwater. Oh, I died. I thought I was screen transitioning. Oh, good. We're all the way back here. First impressions, since this is what people asked for. Not great. And it's got nothing to do with the things that I was worried about. The element switching and stuff we haven't even got to yet, but the game doesn't feel snappy or responsive. Combat isn't particularly exciting. The dodge move being on a second plus cooldown feels kind of off. yeah, the enemies aren't fun to fight. Is my big issue here. You've probably already noticed that I'm skipping enemies because they're not engaging and entertaining to fight. If you were going to have a game with a big chunk of combats, you've got to make sure your combat's fun. You know, for all the problems that I had with the combat in Kratosvania, Boy of War, or Boys of War, I suppose. On easy, at least, the combat felt decent, just not quite right. But this doesn't even have that. The enemies turning around mid-combat, no, mid-attack, feels awful. And I will say that about any game that does it. It's not just this one. I'm not just ragging on this. Any game where the enemy can turn round after it's started its attack needs to just stop it. That's not fun. There will, of course, be some people who say, oh, it's just so you've got to time your attacks better, yada, yada, yada. It's like, or time your dodges better. It's like, even if I'm dodging last minute, it looks like they can still turn around last second, so it doesn't make any difference here. It's just bad. Okay, we're back to where we were. Oh, literally...
Where I thought you'd be.
Literally a screen away from the save points. Did we drop currency on death? No, we don't. We just have to run all the way back. Yeah, but the things that I will praise, because I don't want everybody just to think, oh, it's just shitting on a game again. I like the pixel art. I especially like the fact that all of the pixel arts is same resolution scale. It's all congruent, as I call it. I don't know whether there's an actual word for it. Everything looks like it belongs to the same world. These enemies take so many hits. It's also kind of difficult to tell at times whether something is a doorway or not. We're going to drop down to there, I'm assuming. See, I'm just not enjoying fighting the enemies. So I'm just skipping them, which is going to mean that I will be less powerful because we won't have as much currency. And so on and so forth. The balance of enemies being fun to fight versus rewarding has not... Oh, that's not a platform. Where did it respawn me? Am I supposed to have a double jump at this point or something? Feels like I'm missing something. Oh good, enemies can get guns. I'm hitting the dodge button, it's saying none of it.
swiftly, Ophelia. Hesitation mimics betrayal.
Let's put some more points into this. Aha! Spinning bird kick. Once your gauge is filled, press question mark plus square to perform a spinning flame kick. Well, when my gauge is filled, I shall be sure. Yeah, it feels like I should probably have two separate currencies here. One for leveling up and one for buying upgrades. I wanted to... Okay. Who did... Oh, Jesus Christ. Who designed these respawn points? I'm going to leave that there because my chest is starting to hurt because I'm getting frustrated and I'm not having a good time with this. But let's try and be positive. I think the map is much nicer and better for navigation than it was before. Massively so. This is a much improved map. The pixel art is nice. The attempt at directional audio is an interesting choice. I don't think it's really needed. I think it actually adds a sense of kind of uncanniness and weirdness to the owl experience. But it is what it is. But when it comes down to it, the only thing that I've enjoyed from a gameplay perspective is that this feels quite nice. The flame dash in the air feels pretty good. Combat does not. This slide move does not. The animations are lovely. The sparkles and sparks and pretty effects, nicely done. But the feel of the combat itself is lackluster. For me, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to say that anything is objectively bad here. I'm just saying that I personally don't rate the feel of this. I have played... I mean, even Mio, which, let's be honest, if you've watched my Mio playthrough, you'll know that I wasn't the biggest fan of the combat in Mio. It was rather simplistic, but one thing it was is responsive and felt good for what little it was. Boys of War, Kratosvania, God of War Sons of Sparta. I think the difficulty curve was off. I think I think part of my issue with that game was that I was playing it wrong to start with, in terms of not using my magic meter enough and stuff like that. But the accuracy in the kind of piddly plink 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 of the attacks on normal was not great in terms of feeling like I was doing damage, but realistically the combat felt responsive for the most parts. This just feels... It feels spongy. And apparently, when I hit the start button, I get What is that? I don't have a second controller plugged in. It sounds like it's this sound. It's not my joystick drifting left, because if it was my joystick drifting left, it'd be drifting left from there. I think... yeah, it feels like I'm not doing enough damage, which means that I think I need to go and get... I think the implication is that I get one of those books from the merchant. Where was the merchant? Wasn't he up here? No, that's where we got the move that we don't know how to do because the button guide broke. Was it up here? Yeah. So it sounds like that could be potentially a damage boost. Oh, there we go. It's not doing it now. I'm assuming that's going to be a relic for... something? Oh, no, there it goes again. So, yeah, I'm not... because we've got two separate currency systems, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be realistically focusing on. It kind of feels like, you're supposed to be... leveling up your elements and stuff like that. But then you've got these other things that it feels like you need to buy as well. And because the effects are a little bit vague, I don't know what I'm supposed to be, realistically aiming for. But I don't think it's going to matter because at the end of the day, the sliding combat and the combat itself just doesn't feel... it doesn't feel particularly great to pull off, and when enemies can just flip mid-attack or even late attack, it's like... but the animations are really nice, and the music's quite chill. The pixel art is very stylized for the characters. Some people would argue it's lacking in detail, but the detail is in the backgrounds and in other places. I think the intro movie... it's a real shame that it was so compressed in terms of all the kind of artifacting bitrate that we were getting. I feel like maybe you should... because it was quite a long intro as well. So I feel like if you'd spent all that time and money creating it, you may as well have added an extra half a gig or something to the game's size in order to get a really nice quality of that. You'd think I'd know more about bitrate, what with the whole YouTube thing, but I don't know how much size that would add. So, first impressions are mediocre, mixed. And I think somebody actually said that in terms of... I'm just going to the store page. Hold on. Yeah. So in terms of where the game's currently sat, 43% of the 46 reviews are positive. Multiple bugs within 2 hours. Black screen issues. Character's feet drops below your ground. First boss bugs. Game-breaking bugs. Game's concept is one of a kind. Parkour mechanics. Combat is tight. Not entirely sure about that. Yeah, bugs. Lots of people talking about bugs. Game has more bugs than Hollow Knight. I don't even know what that says. Apologies for not speaking. I get bug, and I'm assuming negative. Game doesn't allow you to customize your control. Does it not? Did it allow me to? Oh no, it doesn't. That's also a bit of a sore point. So yeah, I'm obviously not going to be doing a review of this anytime soon because I've not been massively enthralled by this introductory hour. Because it's been 2 years since I played the demo, I couldn't tell you whether this feels better now than it did 2 years ago. I would hope it would. But I think this might be a wait for a few patches style affair, which is fine because Resident Evil 9 comes out tomorrow. So that's going to be my priority. But people had asked me, have you tried Emberbane yet? What do you think? It's like, I hadn't, and I have now, and it's mediocre, skewing ever so slightly negative for me right now. It needs some tweaks. So hopefully those tweaks will get made. But if not, I mean, I don't recall. Oh, damn it. I always do this. Every time I try and do something quickly, I end up just catching the wrong button on my taskbar and then opening up Google Drive or something else. Where is Emberbane on my Kickstarter pledge list? Maple Forest. I don't even remember Maple Forest, but apparently I backed it on Kickstarter. What was Maple Forest? Sorry, this is completely... Oh, it's a Zelda-style RPG, which was estimated to be put out June last year. I'll get onto them about that, because it's been a little while. Emberbane. Estimated delivery February 2024. I backed for all of $15, which was... Does it tell me what the exchange rate for that was at the time in 2024? It does not. So I'd have to go and look that up. It was $15. I'm not going to quibble about $15 for, as I said at the start, for supporting indie devs with an interesting vision, an interesting idea. Hopefully some fixes will come down the road, but if not, I'm not going to cry over that. Hopefully other people are enjoying it. As I said, 43% of the reviews are positive, so some people are just flat out enjoying the game, and I hope they continue to do so. I will wait for some patching. I don't think I've been particularly harsh. I don't think I've been too harsh. I think I have probably been harsh. But that's just me being blunt. I'm a very blunt person. I like the... Yeah. I think I still like what this is going for. I'm worried that I'm not going to like the swapping of elements too much. But in order to get to that point, I'm going to need some fixes for some of the basics, like enemies flipping over, some of the sound effects, and just the... If nothing else, I think removing the cooldown or lessening the cooldown on the slide and having the slide carry you further would go a long way to improving the feel of this combat, because I kind of feel like it is the cooldown on the slide when enemies are zipping around quite a lot that is adding to this feeling of I'm not liking the combat, that and the fact that the enemies are quite spongy. But that could just be because I was leveling up my mastery, and what I should have actually been doing was buying some of these books or whatever they are. It's not very clear how I get more power. Filling up a bar, it's like, okay, there's a route to power. But yeah, I've only played an hour, so it's far too early to really talk about overall game balance. This is just a first impressions. Hopefully that answers the questions of those who are asking. I will play more of this, but I will wait before doing so. If the devs do see this, kudos to the new map. Much improved over the original one. Really like the improvements to this. I would prefer a variety of custom map markers rather than just trace, because that doesn't tell me anything. Why did I mark that? Screenshot map marker pins, of course, being the gold standard from me these days. Until next time, thank you for watching, folks. Have a wonderful day. And if you are playing Emberbane and you are enjoying it, I hope you continue to do so. And if you are playing Emberbane or you backed it and you're a little bit disappointed, yeah, that kind of sucks. But let's cross our fingers for some fixes. If you've got different kind of constructive complaints to me, just let me know. What have you found? How much further have you got than me before you decided, I might wait a bit? Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.